Hey guys, and welcome back to Clannad. So we were kind of in the middle of one of Kotomi's memories, so let's just jump right back in. My mom, who was holding a basket of laundry, saw the boy.
あら、かわいいお客さんね。
Oh my, what a cute visitor! My mom, with a very kind voice, spoke to the boy, who looked like he was about to run.
あなたのお名前は
What's your name? The boy stayed silent for a while, but he said it.
岡崎智也。
Okazaki Tomoya.
そう、智也くんっていうの。
Oh, I see. You're Tomoya-kun, huh? I was clinging onto the edge of my mom's apron. My mom was talking to some unknown boy, so I was a bit scared.
知らない人、お家に入れちゃいけ
I
ないって。
was told not to let any strangers enter the house. My mom held me behind and pushed me closer to the boy.
智也くん、この人はね、ことみちゃんっていうの。
Tomoya-kun, this girl is Kotomi-chan.
お友達になってあげて
Be
ね。
friends with her, all right? She bended in front of him and said that with a smile.
ほら、もう知らない人じゃないでしょ。
See, he's not a stranger anymore, is he? The boy was staring at me and my mom. Then after that he nodded. And there, me and Tomoya-kun became friends. Tomoya-kun would come as evening approaches. He would always enter the garden from the gap in the hedge, as if he's a stray cat. I was disappointed at waiting for Tomoya. I really liked reading books together and playing house. I really liked playing tag and hide and seek. It didn't seem Tomoya-kun liked it that much. But he would always play with me, with all his heart. Whenever he was in the house, Mom would always bake some pastries. Sorry, choking on my own spit here. Delicious cake, cookies, chow la cream. I would eat them, or chow la creme, actually. I would eat them together with Tomoya-kun. I always shared and ate them with Tomoya-kun. Tomoya-kun would go home as the sun sets, and then, with a troubled face, I would always say, "See you tomorrow," and then he would say, "I might not come tomorrow." I really liked Tomoya-kun. There were times where he didn't come, but usually he would. May 13th. It was my birthday. Dad promised me that he would buy a big stuffed toy. I read from a book that girls want those kinds of things. But the truth is, I'm fine with any present. The wonderful books that Dad always bought were the best of them all. I might have realized it a little bit, that I'm a bit different from Tomoya-kun or everyone from the school. That's probably why I wanted to be with everyone. So I thought, I wanted to have more friends. When I talked to Tomoya-kun, he promised he would come. I was really looking forward to it, but Tomoya-kun didn't come, and I didn't get my stuffed toy, because Dad and Mom had to go out of the country due to some urgent business.
お父さんの嘘つき。
Dad, you lied!
お母さんなんて大
I hate you, Mom!
ごめんね、ことみ。
We're sorry, Kotomi.
どうしても行かなくちゃならないの。
We have to go no matter what.
だって
But
お約束した
But you promised too.
の。お誕生日はお父さんもお母さんも一緒にいてくれ
That
る。
Dad and Mom will be here on my birthday.
おっきなクマさんプレゼントしてく
And
れ
you'll
るって。
give me a big teddy bear as a present.
それからお誕生会してくれる
And
って。
also during my birthday,
ともやくんも呼んでいい
saying I
って。
can also invite Tomoya-kun. No matter what I said, I wasn't able to stop them from their travel.
冷蔵庫にね、ごちそうがあるから。
There's a feast inside the refrigerator.
冷めても美味しいものがたくさん作ってあるからね。
I made lots of food that's delicious, even if it's not warm anymore.
大
I hate you.
嫌い。とも くんが来たら二人でたくさん食べな
Once
さい。
Tomoya-kun comes, eat a lot with him.
大
I hate you!
お手伝いさんに来てもらうようにしたから、他に欲しいものがあったらお手伝いさんに
A
言いなさい。
maid will be coming here. If you want any other things, just tell the maid.
大
I hate you. I was watching Dad and Mom gather up their shoes, and in front of the door was a travel suitcase. My dad's suitcase when he always travels. A shining silver-colored travel briefcase to store his important things.
大
I hate you!
嫌い。 Kotomi-chan.
Kotomi-chan? Mom was making a sad face. Dad couldn't say anything.
そうだ。飛行機に乗る前にクマさん探してあげる。
That's right! We'll search for a teddy bear before we ride the plane.
空港から送ればきっとお誕生日に届くから。
If we send it via the airport, it will surely arrive on your birthday.
とびっきり大きなクマさん送ってあげるから
We'll
ね。
send a really big teddy bear, all right?
いらないの。
I don't need that.
何にもい
I don't need anything. Because what I really wanted wasn't the teddy bear. What I really wanted was to be near with Dad and Mom. I wanted to celebrate my birthday with them and Tomoya-kun.
お父さんもお母さんも
I
大
hate
嫌い。
you both. I hate you.
すぐに帰ってくるからね。本当にすぐだ
We'll
から。
be back really soon, okay? Really soon.
大嫌い。大
I
嫌い。
hate you. I hate you. I repeatedly said I hate you. It was as if I had forgotten any other words, and thinking that doing so, they won't surely go.
ことみ、いい子にして。
Please be a good girl and
待ってい
wait.
なさい。
Dad gently placed his hand over my head. After that, he lifted up his suitcase, and the door closed. I've become alone. And neither Dad nor Mom came back since. After Dad and Mom left, I was crying for so long. I was a crybaby from the start, but it was my first time crying like that. I cried and cried until I got tired of crying and slept. When I woke up, I cried again. I was alone as morning arrived. I brushed my teeth after washing my face and opened the refrigerator. It was full with sweets and food that Mom made. It made me think I want to eat an apple pie. I used the biggest fork and tried to divide it in half. I put the slightly bigger portion back in the refrigerator. Of course, that portion is for Tomoya-kun. Once it's evening, Tomoya-kun will come. We'll celebrate my birthday together. The apple pie was cold, soft, and sweet. It was really delicious. After finishing it, it cheered me up a little bit. I was stepping on the footstool, washing the dishes when the doorbell rang. I thought the maid had arrived. But it could be that Dad and Mom might have returned. I hurried to the entranceway, and there I unlocked the door. There were many grown-up strangers standing there.
ことみちゃんだね。
You're Kotomi-chan,
こん
right?
にちは。
Hello there.
おじさんは
Who are
誰？
you, mister?
あ、おじさんはね、ことみちゃんのお父さんとお母さんと一緒にお仕事をしているん
You
だ。
see, I work together with your dad and mom, Kotomi-chan.
お家の中に入れてもらえ
Could
る
you
か
let
な。
me inside your house?
知らない人、お家に入れちゃいけないって言われてる
I
の。
was told not to let strangers enter the house.
それならお手伝いさんを呼んでくれる
If
かな。
so, could you call out the maid? Well,
いるけど、今はちょっといないの。
she's here, but she's not here right now. The maid hadn't even arrived yet, but I lied. I don't really understand why, but those people looked really scary.
それじゃあ悪いけど、やっぱり入らせてもらえるかな。
Well then, it might not be all right, but could you let us in?
知らない人、お家に入れちゃいけないって言われて
I
る
was
の。
told not to let strangers enter the house.
お父さんとお母さんは大事なご用で出かけてるから
Dad and Mom are out on an important business. That's why.
お父さんとお母さんのこと
You
ま
still
だ知
haven't
らな
heard
いの
about your dad or mom? As I stay silent, those people told me that the airplane that Dad and Mom was riding broke and ended up falling into the distant sea. It ended up sinking in the sea, along with their important thesis. It could be that there might be a note about the thesis in my father's study room. They wanted to go in because the note is very important for the people of this world. They said it many, many times, but I just kept quiet, because I couldn't understand the most important part.
私のお父さんとお母さんはどこ？
Where's my dad and mom?
私、お父さんとお母さんのこと大
I
嫌いって
told
言っ
them
ち
that
ゃ
I
ったの。
hated them both.
本当は大好きなのに大嫌いって言っちゃったの。
The truth is, I really like them, but I ended up saying I hated them.
だから謝らなくちゃいけないの。
That's why I must apologize.
ごめんなさいって言わなくちゃいけ
I
ない
have
の。
to say I'm sorry.
私のお父さんとお母さんはど
Where's
こ？
my dad and mom? Nobody could tell me. All of them sink into silence with the hard to understand faces that looked like they were angry or sad. I became scared. I became really, really scared. So scared that I couldn't bear it anymore. I shut the door with all my might. Behind the door was a striking sound, and I could hear their voices going, "You're a good girl, so please open up." I locked up the door, and after that, I locked up the windows in the house. I was really, really scared. I don't know what they were upset about. I tried to think as hard as I could until it confused me, but I didn't understand anything at all. And then I no longer hear them banging on the door anymore. And in exchange, the phone rang. I was scared, but I tried to check it out, because it might be Dad and Mom making the call. I stand on my tiptoes to get the receiver.
もしもし。
Hello?
新聞社報道部の者ですが、今回の事故につきまして、2、3確認させていただきたいのですが。
I'm from some newspaper and information department. About the incident that happened lately, I would like to confirm one or two things about it. It was the voice of a stranger.
私、何にも知ら
I
ないの。
don't know anything.
お嬢さん、もしかして一ノ瀬琴美さんならちょっとお話を聞かせてもらえるかな。
Could you be Ichinose Kotomi-san, little girl? If so, could you please listen to me for a while?
ご両親がまだ見つかっていないときに、こんなことを聞くのは心苦しいんだけど。
I really feel sorry that both your parents haven't been found, but
私、何にも知らない。
I don't know anything. I hung up the telephone, and it immediately rang again after that. No matter how many times I hung it up, it just immediately rang up again. Although I covered my ears as hard as I could, that didn't stop the phone ringing. I was really, 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 really scared. My fingers were shaking, and my teeth were chattering.
怖い
I'm
よ。
scared.
お父さん、お母
Dad!
さん、
Mom!
ともやくん、怖いよ。ともやくん、
Tomoya-kun, I'm scared. Tomoya-kun!
ともやくん。
I called his name many times, but Tomoya-kun didn't come. I took a pair of scissors out from my mom's sewing toolbox. It was the big scissors that Mom used whenever she cuts clothes. And then, in my heart, I apologized. Mr. Telephone, forgive me. I picked up the telephone wire and cut it with the scissors. And then, the phone stopped ringing. I gathered up my courage and turned on the television. If it's the television, it wouldn't ring by itself, and I could always turn it off. My dad and mom's photo is in it.
一ノ瀬夫妻は大学の研究室で教授と助手の間柄だった頃から互いの才能を認め合っていました。
The
やがて
Ichinoses
二人は
met
結婚
each
し、
other as a professor and assistant in a university laboratory, where they recognized each other's talents. They then married soon after. It was my dad and mom during their youth that I hadn't known before.
学会での特別講演のため急遽予定を繰り上げ渡米する途中での事故でした。
They got into an accident on their urgent schedule to America to give a lecture on a science meeting. And from there, they read out the name of many people. The sea where the airplane fell was really deep and cold. You probably wouldn't survive for more than 5 minutes if you go out. That's what it said.
行方不明の方々ですが、墜落時の状況から生存は絶望的と見られており、
Although there are missing people, it seems finding them is futile due to the state of the crash. I turned off the television, and the television made a sound as it went off. Dad told me up close that it was static electricity, and it's not something I should be scared of. But even still, I was a bit scared. There wasn't any sound anymore after the television faded away. It felt like being sucked up inside. Being alone was scary. It was far scarier than the grown-ups or the sound of the telephone. Tomoya-kun didn't come even though it's evening. He didn't come even though he promised he would. I was always waiting. I could see the garden slowly becoming dark behind the curtain. But even still, Tomoya-kun didn't come. It might be that he's hiding in the garden. Tomoya-kun is really good at hiding. I slowly unlocked the door and went down the garden barefooted. I gathered up my courage and quietly called him.
ともやくん、
No answer.
ともやくん、ともやくん、ともやくん、
I called him many, many times.
ともやくん。
I tried to carefully listen to him. Still no answer. I took a look around the garden. The garden during the evening was really beautiful. The garden where Dad and Mom used to talk. The garden where Tomoya-kun would come to play. But now, I'm the only one here. I gazed up at the sky, at the scary sunset. It looked like it was burning. It made me feel like crying, but I didn't, because I remembered something that my father told me. It was a really, really wonderful idea.
神様、
God! I quietly said that.
神様、聞いてください。
God, please listen.
お父さんとお母さんの飛行機が
The airplane that Dad and Mom
海
are
に
in
落ちてしまい
has
ました。
fallen into the sea,
飛行機は海の底に
and the airplane has sunk there.
沈んでしまいました。きっと私が悪い子だったせいだと思いま
I
す。
think that's because I was a bad girl.
お父さんとお母さんのこと大嫌いなんて言ったせいだと思
I
います。
think that's because I said I hated both Dad and Mom.
本当は大好きなのに嘘を言ったせいだと思いま
The
す。
truth is I liked them, so I think it's also because I lied.
神様、
God!
海の中はとても冷たくて息ができないと思い
I
ます。
think the sea is very cold, and you can't breathe in it.
とってもとっても苦しくて寒くて寂しいと思
I
いま
think
す。
it's painful, lonesome, and cold in there.
私ならきっと泣いてしまいます。
If I'm the one out there, I'll be sure to cry.
お父さんとお母さんは泣かないかもしれないけれど、
Dad and Mom wouldn't probably cry there, but
でもきっと苦しくて寒くて寂しいと思いま
I'm
す。
really sure that they're in pain, cold, and lonely.
神様、
God!
お父さんは言っていまし
Dad
た。
once said,
神様は目には見えないけれどいつでも私たちのことを優しく見ていてくれるって。
that even though you can't see God, He's always kindly watching over us.
きっと今も神様は私のことを見ていると思い
I'm
ます。
sure even now God is watching over me.
私の話を聞いていると思い
Listen
ま
to
す。
what I'm saying.
だから、神様、お願い
Oh
です。
God, I'm begging you.
私のお父さんとお母さんを
Please send my
お家
dad
に
and
返
mom
して
back
くだ
home.
さい。これからは、うんといい子にします。
And from now on, I'll really be a good girl.
もう決して、わがままは言いませ
I
ん。
wouldn't say anything selfish anymore.
残さずに、何でも食べます。
I'll eat everything and wouldn't leave anything.
学校にも、休まないで行きます。
I also won't take a break from school.
お勉強もたくさ
I'll
んしま
study a lot too.
す。ご本をたくさん読んで、立派な人になります。
I'll read lots and lots of books and become a splendid person.
だから、お父さんとお母さんを返してくだ
So
さい。
please, send my dad and mom back here.
私のお父さんとお母さんを
Please,
お家に返してくだ
send
さ
my
い。
dad and mom back home.
お願いだから、返してください。
Please, I'm begging you. Please send them back.
お父さんとお母さんを返してくださ い。
Please send my dad and mom back.
どうか、返してください。
Somehow. Please send them back.
返してください。
Please send them back. I listened carefully again. I tried to listen to the sounds of the beautiful harp. I tried to listen to the kind voice of God. I didn't hear anything. But I am all out of time for this episode, guys. I'm so sorry. But if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye-bye.